Is big at the back? How many premiums should we be squeezing into our attack? And are we sleeping on Ollie Watkins? Maybe so. Well, look, we are waiting for the official launch. But as we do, we're probably becoming a little bit impatient. So this is my latest draft. I'm excited to show you guys it. Many of you will be drafting too and using predicted prices. And we've got the fixtures and we know a lot about the teams already. We've got a lot of information. We can start to have fun with this game. We don't need the official launch to be tinkering. So look, Mo Salah, worst case scenario, he's 15 million. I've put that into FPL team here. I think it's more likely he's 14 or 14 and a half. I hope for the good of the game, FPL give us a real headache and they make him 15. If he's 14, he's going to be in 60, 70% of teams and it's a little bit templatey already. Make him 15 and boy, have we got a decision to make. So I really hope FPL do that. And look, maybe they will. We've seen him always priced at like 12 and a half, 13, 12 and a half the last 3 seasons, but he just broke all sorts of records. He has to have a significant, I think, boost. And when we compare him with expected assists and expected goals per 90 with all other midfielders in the game, boy, is he out on his own. There are no other midfielders that come close. Some are high for assist threat, like De Bruyne, low for goal threat. Saka, similar. Jacob Murphy, the same. Pedro Neto, Minter. And then there's others at the bottom of the chart, but quite far down along on the right. Madueke, Diaz, Kevin Schade. They've got the goal threat, but they don't come with the assist threat. That's really interesting to me that Salah just in a field and a world of his own. Many reasons why we probably all want him in our teams. But look, I don't think we need to talk about Mo Salah much, do we? We really don't. Let's talk about some, well, should we go goalkeepers? Because the pricing of the goalkeepers is so important to me that to the point where I'm not really planning. If Pickford comes in at 5, he'll be in my team. If he's 5.5, he probably won't be. Because if Pickford's 5.5 million, I'll go, oh, there's an Everton defender there in the shape of Tarkowski or Mikalenko or O'Brien at 4.5 million. One of them will be 4.5 million, if not all of them. And I'll go, I'm going to save $1 million on Pickford at 5.5 and go for the Everton defender. If he's 5, he's probably worth the extra. Now, the price of Raya really matters because I do want to cover that Arsenal defence, even though they've got rough fixtures. And the team you're about to see has no Arsenal defender. Yeah, so no Arsenal player in this team. But depending on the price of Raya and the price of Pickford, that could very easily happen. Arsenal, of course, have the worst fixtures, but we know defensively they're so good even in tough games. I feel like it would be smart to cover myself with Arsenal defence. But let's talk about that defence then, shall we? Because, well, I think it's big at the back. Is it the return of big at the back? Now, long gone are the days of 7.5, 8 million defenders. Trent, Marcus Alonso, João Cancelo. These guys don't come in. They don't exist in the game anymore, but they don't come in the best at this price. Now, the top end we're going to see is 6.5 million. I don't know if we're going to see it. We could see it with Gvardiol. We could see it with a Saliba or Gabriel. I don't think we will. Gvardiol was a 50-50 for me if he comes in at 6.5, but I reckon we're going to cap out at 6. Now, Frimpong and Kerkez, a lot of the Man City guys, that'll be 6 million. Arsenal guys, that's fine. Cucurella at 5.5 million, though, let's start with. Chelsea's best defender in terms of FPL points. 5 goals last season, great in the Club World Cup. Get Cucurella in your team, I think, considering the fixtures, knowing he's inverted, knowing Chelsea are good and they're keeping clean sheets. They just kept PSG out, for God's sake. So Cucurella, I think, will be in. Aït-Nouri and Frimpong need a little bit of discussion. So look, Aït-Nouri, this was his average position in the Club World Cup. It was often a back 4. At times it was a back 5 where he was even more advanced. But even as a 4, he's effectively a midfielder. He's linking play. He's got good chemistry with Doku. They both speak French down that left-hand side. Doku has come out and said that. But Aït-Nouri is possibly a gift in FPL. Because when he played for Wolves last season, he was still got the most attacking returns of all defenders. If he can do this at Wolves with 11 attacking returns, more than anyone else, what can he do in the Man City shirt? Man City score like double, maybe even more than double the amount of goals that Wolves score. He's going to get so many assists. Many will worry about rotation. Gvardiol does exist. Gvardiol is a left centre-back by trade. I think we're all right. And Aït-Nouri, I think, will be worth the upside. Now, what about the Liverpool defenders? Because we need to break this down. Frimpong versus Kerkez will go on as a debate all pre-season. There are some debates out there that will last all pre-season. Palmer versus Wirtz, we'll get to that one later. Haaland versus Salah, we'll get to that one later. And Frimpong versus Kerkez will be another one. Now, Kerkez, we know, and there's a sense of familiarity there because we've seen him at Bournemouth. We saw him get the attacking returns. He's great. Frimpong is a little less known by many. I've watched him in the Champions League. I don't watch the Bundesliga, but the numbers speak for themselves with this one. Now, some will worry about rotation because they'll go, Conor Bradley's really good. Well, I'll present you that Tsimikas and Robertson are good as well on the left. Like, Kerkez and Frimpong will both be first choice going into game week 1, I think. But of course, they'll have threats behind them. Now, Tsimikas or Robertson, one of them will be sold, but one will stay, and they'll threaten Kerkez. Same as Bradley, he'll threaten Frimpong. But, and this is, Jurgen Slot, Arne Slot doesn't rotate much. When he knows his back four, especially, he holds it and he keeps it. And I expect these two to firmly be in it in the Premier League. So look, this is what we get from Frimpong. We get more opposition touches and more goals scored than any other defender in Europe's top 5 leagues over the last 2 seasons. That's how insanely attacking he is. 190 games, 30 goals, 44 assists. That's elite. We're looking at 74 attacking returns in 190 games. That's better than an attacking return every 3 games. That's like an attacking return every 2.5 games. Guys, if we get that at Liverpool, and look, Leverkusen weren't even good last year. Liverpool are going to score way more goals than Leverkusen scored last year. Next year for Liverpool, I really like Frimpong, and I'm going to struggle to go against him. When we plot him against the other defenders, we saw this chart for Salah from Backyard FPL. Check him out on Twitter. There's defenders out there with high assist threat. Hall, Luca Dean, Mitchell, Robertson, Pedro Porro. They're great for assist threat. They're right up there. Similar levels to Frimpong, right? Higher in the chart. And then there's good defenders for goal threat. Gvardiol, really far on the right-hand side. Fabian Schär, players like that. But in a world of his own, top right, he has the assist threat, just like the names I just mentioned, and he's got better goal threat than all others. Munoz is the closest to him, and those two are actually out in a world of their own. Frimpong, guys, he's going to be a gift in FPL. I absolutely have no doubt about it. Look at Kerkez, by the way, if you do want to do the comparison. He's right on the far left, quite high up, high assist threat, barely any goal threat. He did score some goals, but low XG chances. Frimpong gets himself into the positions. Now, of course, this could change under slot and tactics and stuff, but what we know is Frimpong is the better attacking asset. The numbers do not lie on this one, guys. Let's talk about some other positions, shall we? Okay, just in defence, by the way, I've got to give a shout out to, it will likely be a 4 million defender on the bench. It will likely be a 4.5 million defender on the bench. De Kuyper, the Belgian fullback at Brighton, awesome attacking numbers. He's going to, if he comes in at 4.5, he's going to be in a lot of teams. Estupiñán exists, but I expect De Kuyper to be first choice. Loads expect really big things of him. If you haven't watched him, he loves to attack, and he's a left back. Let's talk forward, shall we? And then we'll do midfielders. Guys, if you're enjoying the video, how is Jan? When do I ever get 9 minutes into a video and I don't ask you to like and subscribe, hey? Genuinely, though, the YouTube algorithm will control you unless you subscribe to the channels you like. If you subscribe to this channel, the YouTube algorithm will probably show you more of my videos, which will hopefully be good for your FPL game. I've got so much planned pre-season. Hit the like button, drop a comment, and do subscribe if you can. And if you're wondering if you've seen this video already, I did post this video, but I've had to take it down because there was some problems with the back end and tech and ads and all that stuff. So yeah, it pretty much, I got a message, an alert from YouTube saying, oh, we've made an error, da, 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 da. So I re-recorded. Here I am. Different day, different shirt, same video and same team that I showed you. Hopefully some slightly different words. But yeah, apologies if you've already seen it. Very few did because I think I took it down in time. But if you did see it, apologies. Right. Forwards. Let's do it. Are we sleeping on Ollie Watkins? If he comes in at 8.5 million, guys, we really have to pay attention. Look at the fixture ticker on Fantasy Football Scout. You can filter this on difficulty for attack. So these are the teams with the best attacking fixtures. The teams that should get the most goals and have the best attacking fixtures are Villa, Chelsea, Wolves, and Forest. Right at the bottom, we see teams like Arsenal and Newcastle, dreadful attacking fixtures, which is why Saka and Isak are not in this draft. But Villa, it's a tricky game week 1. Newcastle at home, fine. But then it's Brentford, Palace, Everton and Sunderland. And boy, do the fixtures continue. If they do, you're going to want a Villa attacker. Now, Rodgers would be high on my radar, but he's going to have a big price jump. So I think Ollie Watkins is a very, very good option. Now, he could come in at 9 and 9.5, less interested. I'm interested at 9. I'm not interested at 9.5. If he comes in at 8.5, as FPL team think he will, Yes, I'm interested. A couple of these players, I've changed the price on FPL team where you can edit them. I changed Salah, moved him from 14 to 15. I've moved Solanke from 7.5 to 7. But the others, I think I've kept all of them as FPL team predicts, including Ollie Watkins. So Solanke, I don't think he will be 7.5. I think he should come in at 7 because Spurs weren't good last year. But big chance Brentford under Thomas Frank. They create big chances better than anyone else. They're about to become big chance Spurs because that is how Frank plays. That is his philosophy. He produces big chances and he's going to have a tap-in merchant in Dom Solanke. Now, let's see. They might go and sign another number 9. Solanke might not be nailed. If he is, and that you don't spend... Daniel Levy spent 60 million on Solanke. He wants him in the team. I think Solanke could be a really good option. And we're all going to want to cover the Spurs attack. And Solanke will be, I think, the best option there. Kudus will be strong. He'll get some interest. Others might do. I don't think there'll be a huge amount of love for the likes of Maddison and Son and Kulusevski. Injuries there too. But Solanke will be the pin up there. And then Welbeck, 6.5 million. I'm interested in Evan Nilsson. I'm interested in Strand Larsen. And again, prices between those two with Welbeck will probably matter. Now, of course, at Brighton, they've gone and bought a big name striker. They've gone and spent a lot of money on a kid up front from Greece. I think Welbeck's still going to be the number 1, number 9 for the start of the season anyway. And the fixtures I quite like for goals for Welbeck. Like, they're not high on the ticker because Man City is in game week 3. Brighton usually cause City problems, but game week 1, Fulham at home, Everton away, then it's City, then Bournemouth and Spurs. Like, it's an okay batch of fixtures. I just think Brighton score goals under Hurstler, and I like them for a quick start. So that's where I'm at with the front line. You're thinking, oh, Gianni, you've probably got a bit of money now to spend in midfield. Where is that premium spot going? You've not gone Erling Haaland. And by the way, guys, there's a very good chance, depending on price Haaland's considered, Salah and Haaland drafts might be possible. Let's say they come in at 13 million for Haaland and 13.5 for Salah. You might go for that double up. And because of captaincy, the double up is important if you can get there. But with my predicted prices of Haaland at 13.5 and Salah at 15, I don't think it's possible. Stay tuned though, because I'm going to talk about captaincy at the end of the show. Let's talk midfielders, shall we? So this is where I think I'm at with midfielders. Semenyo, I've barely heard anyone speak about him. People are put off by Bournemouth because they've lost some of their big name players. The likes of Zabani are off. Kerkez is gone. Kepa's gone. In attack, there's still going to be loads of fun. And Semenyo could get penalties because Kluivert has also been linked with a move away. And if Kluivert leaves, Evan Nilsson took a penalty last year before Kluivert scored any of his. Early on against Chelsea, he missed it. And then Kluivert got pens. In the cup game, I don't think Kluivert was on the pitch. Semenyo took a pen, scored it. I would say Semenyo is above Evan Nilsson in the pecking order for pens. He could have penalties and he shoots on sight. He is a greedy FPL asset. And genuinely, if he's 6.5 million, I think I'll want him in my team. He could come in at 7 and I could be possibly priced out there. Same as Pedro Neto. Coming at 6.5, I want you. Coming at 7, I still probably do with Pedro Neto. He's been so good for Chelsea in the Club World Cup. You've got to consider him because he's Chelsea's first choice wide man. He'll be competing with Gittins on the left. He'll be competing with Palmer on the right. Of course, Palmer will play on the right, but when Palmer does play number 10, it'll be Neto on the right. There's a lot to like about Pedro Neto. He's really shown some good form this summer. Excuse me, I don't edit these vids. Recorded as live with my sore throat. Apologies. Pedro Neto had a brilliant Club World Cup. He got in team of the tournament, guys. He's earned Maresca's trust, even in the final. Played him almost as a left wing back, tracking Hakimi, did a brilliant defensive job and still offered something in attack. Maresca loves him. He's finally fit. We're seeing the real Neto in a Chelsea shirt, which we didn't see at the start of last season. Pedro Neto is going to be a very popular pick. Most Chelsea fans, if he comes in at this price point, will have him in their team. Those that didn't watch the Club World Cup or that don't watch Chelsea YouTubers maybe won't. There's one big spot left. Many will look at Wirtz, many will look at Palmer, many will look at Saka. Because of the fixtures, I don't think I go Saka. Do I go Palmer or do I go Wirtz? Now, there's very little to split them in terms of last season when you compare. By the way, compare them with all our attacking midfielders and wingers. Upper echelons, these two. Like, they're clear, right? They're in their own league pretty much. The expected goals, Palmer is higher for shots as well. A lot of the creative stuff and the dribbles and the carries, Wirtz is higher. Wirtz played for a slightly weaker team. Wirtz took fewer penalties. The numbers are similar. If the price points are the same, This data suggests Wirtz is probably the better pick. But I don't think the price points will be the same. And there's no way Wirtz is going to take penalties for Liverpool because Mo Salah exists. Cole Palmer comes with pens. So I think Palmer will be anywhere between 1 and 2 million more expensive. Now, if we see Wirtz at, say, 9.5 or 9.5, do we see Palmer anywhere between 10 and 11? Price him at 11 and I'm not interested. Price him at 10.5 and I'm on the fence. Price him at 10 and he fits in this draft. I think he could be 10. I think there's a very good chance he's 10, although the Club World Cup might have changed FPL's price there. I wouldn't be surprised if they had him at 10 and they changed him to 10.5 after the Club World Cup. Chelsea's talisman starts the season well. The fixtures are absolutely there for Chelsea. And don't forget that. When we looked at those fixtures earlier, remember, Chelsea right at the top of the ticker. Palace, West Ham, Fulham, Brentford, and then Man United. There's a lot to like about the Chelsea fixtures, and therefore Palmer's going to get a lot of love. But we need to talk about captaincy, because when we see this team, it's like, oh, your captain options most weeks are Salah, or alternative to Salah would be a Palmer or maybe a Watkins. If you go Florian Wirtz and you don't have a Palmer, you effectively have one fewer captaincy options each week, because if you're back in the Liverpool attacker, you're not going to go Wirtz, you're going to go Salah. So when Liverpool have a rough fixture and you want to captain away from them, you need an alternative. So make sure you've got another premium. Could be Isak, could be Watkins, could be Saka, could be Palmer, that can also contribute if you do go for that double Liverpool attack. Of course, Erling Haaland as well. So do bear that in mind with captaincy, guys. Thank you so much for watching this, and hit those buttons. We'll be back with more videos as soon as the game drops. Come on.